Not too long ago, I made a video talking about how we can save Black Lives Matter. Well, I think that's officially out the window now. Black Lives Matter has become a fringe group that is more interested in pushing an agenda than it is in saving black lives. I say this because I saw a video not too long ago of what was supposed to be a Black Lives Matter protest in Wichita, Kansas. But what ended up happening was that the protest turned into a dialogue slash cookout slash party with the Wichita police. The people who held the cookout said this: tonight, the Black Lives Matter movement planned on having another protest, but instead chose to co-host a First Steps barbecue with the Wichita Police Department. The community got together and had an open and honest discussion between its citizens and law enforcement. Hard questions were asked, and Chief Ramsey did an exceptional job of being vulnerable and willing to listen with an open heart and mind. We are on the road to real life-giving solutions. We are breaking down barriers. We downed over 2,000 hamburgers and hot dogs, built relationships, laughed, cried, and danced. This is what humanity was designed to do: work together, love each other, and live in a community. Could you imagine the history that would be made if the rest of our nation followed this example? Hashtag Wichita Proud. Sounds good, right? Well, apparently not, because the Washington chapter of Black Lives Matter tweeted this out in response to all this god awful positivity. This is not an official Black Lives Matter chapter. This does not fall in line with our principles. And then they later clarified that by saying, our statement about Black Lives Matter barbecues with police was a direct response to the tons of people and organizations who were upset about the event. And apparently they wanted to let people know that our principles are still focused on dismantling the system. But here's the icing on the cake. The chapter retweeted this: to end police brutality, you have to end the police. Now, I'm not going to say that this is encouraging people to kill police officers. I'll be optimistic and say that the goal is to tear down the system, which is capitalism, by the way. Remember, they're trying to resurrect the Black Liberation Movement, which had Marxist principles. You see, my problem with this is that they have this black and white mentality. And I'm not just talking about race. They see black people being killed by racist cops. That's the long and the short of it. But all racism isn't created equally. All racism isn't necessarily rooted in just hatred. As a matter of fact, all of it is rooted in ignorance. But ignorance does not equal hatred. I'm going to tell a story, and it's going to feel off base, but I'm going somewhere with it. A lot of people don't know that Benjamin Franklin was an abolitionist. He advocated for the abolition of slavery. However, there was a time when he was racist and believed black people to be inferior, like most white people at the time. What changed his mind was that he visited a school where black kids were being taught, and he found that they were just as capable and intelligent as white kids. Franklin eventually freed his own slaves and formed an organization that fought against the institution of slavery. Now, what does that have to do with the Black Lives Matter situation? Well, what it is that a lot of these cops do hold racist beliefs, and they hold those beliefs because they're ignorant, because they spend their careers observing that black people are more likely to commit crime than other races, and having their only dealings with black people being negative. In the same way, all of our dealings with the police are negative. We're taught not to trust them, and rightly so in a lot of cases, and they don't trust us. So when a black person and a cop meet, they both see a person that wants to make their life difficult, and something bad happens. What that cookout was an opportunity for each side of this fight to actually talk to the other side and discover some common ground. So the next time a cop has a run-in with a black person, neither one are so paranoid and nobody gets hurt. A change in mentality creates a change in the culture, and that is how you save lives, not by blocking traffic. But it would appear that the official chapters of Black Lives Matter aren't interested in saving black lives. I'm convinced at this point that they want so badly to dismantle the system that they're willing to stop progress and perhaps even sacrifice black lives in order to achieve what they believe is the greater good. If you're a part of Black Lives Matter and you actually care about helping black people, then you need to form a new organization with clear and attainable goals. You might say that Black Lives Matter isn't a bunch of radicals, but apparently it's run by radicals, and they have made it clear that they don't want anything to do with anyone who actually wants peace.
Listen to the bass. Listen to the bass. listen to the bass. Stanley on the bass. Stanley Clark to the bass, 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 bass.